Hey everybody, it's Kelly Cooper. My internet kind of momentarily went out before, so I got disconnected. I'm going to give it another shot, and if it doesn't work again, I guess it'll be a sign from the universe to try again later. Welcome to another live video. Today I'll be answering a question that I'm really excited to answer because it really allows me to maybe give you a little bit of tough love that you need sometimes, the conscious creator needs sometimes to really honestly assess where they're at in the process. How can I tell if my energy is changing? I don't really mean tough love, but just, but I might say some stuff that you'll probably realize your energy is not changing as much as you might have thought, and you'll be upset about that, but it's actually not a problem and it's not a big deal as long as you can honestly assess, what's happening with yourself. How can I tell if my energy is changing? A lot of people feel very confused about this, but it's actually very, very simple. Anything human you does, says, your decisions, the space from which you make those decisions, all of these things are informed by your belief system. So, what's the space you're making your decisions from? What's the space you're acting from? That shows you what your beliefs are. That shows you what you believe predominantly, what you feel predominantly, what you think predominantly, your predominant perspectives, your predominant self-image and view of yourself. That's how you know where your energy's at, because that's, again, your energy informs everything human you is doing. And you have to ask yourself, the decisions you're making in your life, are you making them from a place of trust and faith? Or are you making them from a belief system that's still rooted in fear, in scarcity, and all of that stuff, right? Because again, your belief system that's what's informing everything that you're doing. So you could affirm, you can make a vision board, you can do this thing, you can do all of those things. It's wonderful, and if it helps you change your energy, great. But at the end of the day, that's your marker. That's how you can tell. All of that stuff in and of themselves, these things have no power. I'm not trying to discourage you from doing all this stuff, but if those things aren't making you feel better, if you're not changing how you're moving through the world, your energy's not changing. That's really what it comes down to. So for example, with your business, let's say you're a freelancer. I used to be a freelance writer. For a long time, that's how I made my money. And anyone in that world, you check job boards. I checked job boards for jobs or whatever, and you would see people lowballing, like the amount of money they're looking to pay people was almost insulting. You have people, they'll be huge pain in the ass clients, and you don't want to work with them. Do you, as a freelancer in that, for example, are you still, hi Zara, how are you? Hope you're enjoying the video. Are you still taking all the low paying jobs because you're afraid of running out of money? Do you take all the pain in the ass clients that you don't want to work with because again, you're afraid good clients aren't going to come along, and you're driven by a fear of running out of money? That shows you where your belief is around money, around your business, for example. Are you taking actions that feel really badly because you're afraid you're not going to get what you want? Or are you just taking actions that feel good, light, right, fun, easy, and inspired? Again, that shows you where your energy is. For example, let's say you're trying to find a relationship and you absolutely loathe online dating and apps and you're sick of swiping and all that shit. But do you keep doing it because you're afraid you're not going to meet anybody unless you're on a dating app? Or do you pull back from bad feeling actions, trusting you can meet this person in infinite ways? Maybe it'll come through that channel, but maybe it'll come through some other completely different channel that you have no idea about, you wouldn't expect. You see what I'm saying? Again, everything you're doing informs your belief. Your beliefs inform everything that you're doing. So if you look at how you're moving through the world, the space from which you're making your decisions, that's your energy. That's where your dominant energy is, right there. There's the answer. It's really not complicated. It's not some big mystery. You have to ask yourself, are you being the person that is a match to the things you want? The good relationship, the earning more money with ease, the successful business, the whatever it is you want, right? Are you being that person? And if you're not being that person, it's okay, but you have to be able to admit you're not being the person. Because here's the thing with this work. Your mind somehow thinks lying about how you feel and pretending you believe things you don't believe somehow benefits you. It will work somehow, like you can trick the universe or something, but it doesn't work that way. The process of attraction, you have to understand, it's neutral, dispassionate, disinterested, clinical, mechanical. Is there some force of great love for us and support that we can't even fathom? Absolutely. But does this force give us stuff based on our struggles, our wanting, and our dissatisfaction with our life now, or how hard we're trying to get these things? No. Again, the actual process of manifesting, clinical, neutral, dispassionate, disinterested. My favorite quote I read about the universe once was, the universe is benevolent but disinterested. Meaning, there's no judgment and analysis happening in this process of manifesting and unconscious creation. You're putting out an energy, a dominant energetic signature, and you're just manifesting stuff back that's a match to it. Again, your dissatisfaction with your circumstances, your unhappiness, how much you want or need something, how hard you're trying to manifest it, the actions you're taking to trying to get it, whether or not you deserve it because of how all of that, none of that is being factored into the equation. So if you can't honestly look at your energy and see if you're aligned or not aligned, you're fucked, basically. Like, there's just really no other way to say it, because again, all of that other stuff that your mind thinks is going to be factored into the process is not being factored into the process. Again, your mind thinks somehow lying about how you feel and pretending you feel things you don't feel benefits you. It doesn't benefit you. It's you can't trick the universe. It can't defy your vibration. It can't give you things that you're not a match to, and it's not because it's punishing you for your negativity, or it doesn't think you're trying hard enough, or it doesn't think you deserve it. Again, the actual process of manifesting, disinterested, dispassionate, clinical, neutral, mechanical, that it's just input output, like a computer or something, you might think of it as. So yeah, everything human you does, that's your beliefs in action. That shows you what you believe. That shows you where you're at energetically. So you have to be able to honestly assess, what space are you acting from? Again, are you making your decisions based on trust and faith in the process, self-love and all these warm, fuzzy, wonderful feelings? Or is it from a belief system that's still rooted in fear, scarcity, not liking yourself? Are you going with the flow of life, or are you trying to control and manipulate everything still all the time? Are you open to the different channels through which the things you want can come to you, or are you still trying to force it and manipulate it and control it through specific channels that you're attached to for some reason, or that your mind thinks it has to come through this is the only way, we have to work this shit to death until we get what we want? These, so like I said, a lot of people, they feel confused about the state of their energy, but it's a very easy thing to assess. How are you moving through the world? How do you feel day to day? And here's the thing, you have to be honest with yourself in this process, because again, if you can't be honest with the state of your energy, you can't change it. Because if you're just going to deny your feelings, you're going to pretend you believe things you don't. Again, on some level, our mind thinks this benefits us. It doesn't. The universe is not responding to any of that stuff. It's not responding to your dissatisfaction. It's not responding to how hard you're trying, how much you want something, how much you need it. It's like your energy is a certain energy. That's it. Like, you get what you are putting out there in that sense. There's no judgment. There's no punishment for negativity. You're not being rewarded for your positivity. It's just whatever energy you're putting out there predominantly, you're just manifesting stuff that mirrors it back to you in a neutral way. Everything in your life, positive and negative, is just neutral feedback of your energy. Neutral. Again, no punishments, no rewards. That's it. It's just you put something out there, you're getting it back. Again, everything you do in your life, everything human you is doing is a level of effect. True level of cause is inside your energy, your beliefs, your feelings, your thoughts. And everything you're doing is just a reflection of that. So you have to honestly assess, what's the space I'm making all my decisions from? Day to day, how am I feeling? How do I feel about the things I want? When I make my different choices, as I move through the world, what energy is informing these actions, these choices, these behaviors, these decisions, my interactions with other people? What's the energy behind the actions I take that I think are beneficial to getting where I want to be? Are they inspired, light, right, easy, fun again? Or are they coming from a space of force and manipulation, and I'm not okay with where I am now, and I'm just trying to change what I don't like as quickly as possible because I want my shitty feelings to go away? So yeah, if you can be honest about all of this, you'll get a very clear snapshot of your energy. It will be clear as day to you. There's no mystery at all. And if you're not acting from an energetically friendly space, you realize maybe you're not as aligned as you're claiming to be. You're not feeling as good as you're claiming to be feeling. It's only a problem if you can't admit it, because if you can't admit it, then you can't change it, and you just keep denying how you feel, and you keep denying your true beliefs, and then you're going to sit there and be like, well, where's my stuff? You can't get your stuff because you're not aligned with it. And if you can admit all of this, again, it's not a problem, because then you can change it. Just like any other aspect of life, you can't fix a problem that you can't admit exists in the first place. So yeah, don't be afraid to be honest about how you feel. Again, your mind thinks lying and denying somehow benefits you in this process. Like the universe, again, like it can you could trick the universe, or as long as the universe is hearing you say certain things or seeing you do your affirmations, it's like, oh yeah, they're aligned, let me give them their stuff. It doesn't work like that. You're creating your reality. The universe isn't doling things out to you based on its assessments of you as a person and your efforts and all that shit, right? It's just, again, it's just neutral. Everything in your world, positive and negative, is just neutral feedback of your energy. Again, there's no punishment, there's no reward for negativity and positivity based on deserving or how good of a person you are or how hard you're. None of that factors in the world of energy. And it's a good thing, because it makes things a lot simpler. It's just your energy, that's all that matters. And all these other things your mind thinks, all this bullshit, all the games it's trying to play, it's you don't want to have to mess with any of that, and you don't have to, because, and you shouldn't, because it's not going to help. So yeah, that's how you tell if your energy is changing day to day. Who are you being as a person? What's the space that you're making your decisions from? What's the energy informing your actions? You know, you might feel good here and there when you do your affirmations or you do your personal development work. That's awesome for those 5 minutes, but then how are you feeling the rest of the day? When stuff happens you don't like, how are you responding to it? That's another great way to tell if your energy is changing. How do you respond to the stuff that your mind labels as bad, the unwanted in your life, the things that cause the negative emotional responses initially? Do you process that shit, shake it off, and kind of go back to like a more positive frame of mind? Or do you get lost in these feelings? Do you use these experiences to keep clinging to shitty beliefs that make you feel like a victim and disempowered and all these other crappy feelings, and then point to your outside circumstances as justification for feeling that way? That's a really, really good measuring stick. How are you responding to the unwanted in your life right now? How successfully are you looking beyond your unwanted circumstances and focusing on what you prefer to see instead? For example, you're trying to work on your money vibe. Awesome. How do you feel when the unexpected expense comes up? How do you feel when you finally start getting ahead with your savings and an expensive car repair shows up and you have to drain that? Do you feel grateful that you had the money, or do you like, oh, you know what, you can never get ahead in life, and I finally start saving money and this thing comes along? How do you feel, you know what I'm saying, when you have to spend a larger sum of money? Are you feeling pulled to invest in your personal growth in some way in an amount of money that feels a little uncomfortable to spend, but you technically have this money to spend? Well, are you going to take that leap of faith and work with that coach, or take the class, take the trip, do the retreat, or whatever, that you know in your heart there's something there for you? Or do you still make your decisions based on scarcity and fear, and then you don't do things you know are good for you because you're afraid to spend the money on them? You know, those are just some examples. So yeah, everything you do is informed by your beliefs. Your predominant energy is showing up in everything you do, human you is doing in your life day to day. If you take an honest assessment of where all of the space from which you're living from, there's your energy right there. If you're acting more from faith and trust, your energy's changing in a good way. If you're not getting lost in your negative emotions anymore completely, your energy's changing. If you're looking at unwanted situations in your life in a different way, thank you, Zara, I'm glad you're enjoying it, your energy's changing. That's it. It's really not a big mystery, but the key to all of this is you have to be honest with where you are, because if you can't be honest, like I said, any other issue in life, you can't fix problems you won't admit to in the first place. You can't transform feelings and beliefs you won't admit to having in the first place. So again, your mind thinks denying this benefits you, and it's somehow if you just choose not to deal with your shit, eventually it'll just go away. But it's not going to go away. And especially as a conscious creator, and now you're more focused and tuned into your inner world, and you know that shit is there, and you keep trying to avoid dealing with it, now knowing it's there in a way you maybe didn't know it was there before, to the degree and the strength of it, and you keep trying to do shit the old way, and you just keep trying to manipulate circumstances and then focus on, try to get stuff you don't have, and not going within. Again, now you know about all of this. It's going to create a very specifically unpleasant type of tension that is going to fuck up your energy, because again, it's just, if you think your feelings are like, oh, you don't want to deal with us, okay, you're not one of those, okay, we'll go away then. They're like, hi, I know you know about us now, we're fucking here to stay, and we got all the time in the world, and we'll be here when you want to deal with us. The things that happen in your life that show you your energy, and they're amazing lessons, you can choose not to look at the lesson. The lesson's like, doesn't, okay, fine, I'll be back in some form. I'll fucking be back. I'll just go work with someone else right now. I have a lot of people to teach lessons to. So all of these things, if you think you can just keep avoiding them, to some degree you can. You're not being forced to deal with your shit. You don't have to deal with it. You can do whatever you want. But you have to understand, knowing what you know about energy, if all this energy and all this stuff is festering and it's been dominating your life for years and years, and you think a few affirmations or looking at a vision board is going to change that, it might on a very surface level, very temporarily, and you might see some pop here and there in your reality. Stuff will change. You don't need a perfect vibration to change your energy by any means. But it's painful. The real problem is not what you don't have. It's all the shit going on inside. So even if your outside reality changes in certain ways that your mind finds desirable, you're probably still not going to be happy anyway. And that's all you really want. Those are my people for LOA. My people are the people that you prioritize emotional well-being and happiness, knowing the shit comes anyway. I'm not telling you to give up on your shit. If I didn't think you should care about the outside world, I wouldn't focus on a teaching like the law of attraction. It's okay to want stuff. We're here having this human experience. It's okay to want to mold it in a specific way and enjoy it. That's what we should be doing. We have to get up and live in this world every day. It makes good sense to do all this sort of stuff to me. It's a practical thing. But yeah, deal with all your stuff. I feel like I went off on a tangent here, but it's all kind of related. But yeah, again, that's how you know where your energy is at. How are you living your life every day? How are you showing up in the world every day? How are you dealing with the unwanted in your life? How well are you looking past the circumstances you don't like right now? What's the story you're telling about? All of that stuff, that's all informed by your energy. And again, if you can honestly look at all of that, you'll get a very clear snapshot of where you are in the moment energetically. And if it's not where you want to be, if it's not where you need to be to see the changes you want to see in your life, it's really not a big problem. It's only going to be a problem if you deny it and then you don't do anything about it. And dealing with your shit and being honest, it's really not that bad. It's a good thing to be able to do all this, because then you can't change shit that you can't cop to in the first place, right? So you need to be able to, that brutal honesty is a very important part of conscious creation in a real, meaningful way. You could do all your little surface changes in your energy and get little stuff here and there. You don't have to go this deep. It's not necessary. But that's really the real problem. That's where the real miracles and where the real ease with this process comes in, when you unload some of that shit that's weighing you down. So yeah. How are you moving through the world? Your beliefs, your energy is informing everything human you is doing. Everything human you is doing is the level of effect. And level of cause is in here. Beliefs, predominant energy, predominant focus, predominant perspectives, your predominant self-image, that's informing everything you're doing. There's your belief, your life is your beliefs and your energy manifests. So that's where it lies. So again, if you can look at it honestly, you'll know exactly where you stand energetically. And again, if you're not where you want to be and you're still not in an ideal place, it's an easy fix, but you just have to be honest about it, and it'll be fine. It's really not the problem. You'll make it out to be. So yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day or night. For more content, information about my products and coaching services, head on over to livelifemadetorder.com. And yeah, bye-bye.